Right now at 10, a vigil is held in Webb City for a student who passed away earlier this month. Plus, it was a flood of cats and dogs at the Webb City Fire Department. We'll tell you what brought these fur babies out in the rain. And
kids are learning water safety at a special event in Joplin. I'm Kate Kelly with the story coming up.
You're watching the KOAM News at 10, and it starts right now. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. Tragic news tonight coming out of Webb City, Missouri. The Webb City Police Department has released a statement regarding an unattended death of a student. Authorities say the death happened on the Webb City campus, and there are no signs of foul play after an autopsy report. Officials have said, quote, "This is a tragedy that no family should ever have to endure. This child was the son, brother, nephew, and grandson that was loved by many friends. With utmost respect for and approval from the family, we decided not to publicize the investigation. In the end, we want to give the family the factual truth of what happened to their child," end quote. The Webb City community comes together tonight to mourn the loss of a student. This young man passed away earlier this month. Community members held a candlelight vigil at King Jack Park in his honor. They stood in silence as they remembered the young man. Storms overnight may have caused the destruction of a Berry County business. Just after 2 this morning, emergency responders were called to the K Cabinet Shop near Highway 76 and Highway 39. A total of 5 fire agencies responded to the blaze. Firefighters say when they arrived, the building was 50% collapsed with fire throughout. The building and business are a total loss. Fire officials believe the fast-spreading fire was caused by a lightning strike. The Missouri State Fire Marshal is assisting with the investigation. Thankfully, those storms and showers have since moved out of the area. Nick Kelly joins us.
It took a lot of persuading to get them out of here, Chris, but sure enough, as we got the evening underway, the last of any of those pesky remaining showers got the hint, and moved on out. 64 was a midnight high, and we spent the entire day going from 54 and just holding steady in the middle to upper 50s all day. Nice, though, that we are seeing nothing in terms of rain of any type on the radar network. In fact, the Skywatch Storm Tracker is showing a good portion of the clouds finally getting the hint as well and starting to clear out. But that's going to set us up for a cool start in the morning. Granted, where most of us are in the lower to middle 50s right now, but everybody's going to drop back eventually into the mid-40s for tomorrow morning. Joplin bottoming out around 46, but with partly to mostly sunny skies for tomorrow, we'll still be below normal, but topping out nicely with highs in the mid-60s. So we're looking good for the weekend to wrap it up, Chris, but more rain in the forecast. We'll break down the week ahead here in a few.
All right, Nick, thank you. And as Nick mentioned, it was raining today, but not cats and dogs. Why? You see, they were lined up at the Webb City Fire Department along with the Madison Pet Clinic. The clinic was offering parvo, distemper, and rabies vaccines as well as deworming. Today's annual event was discounted due to the not having to have a wellness checkup. The purpose of this event is to keep our fur babies and community safe.
My personal opinion, our goal is to just make sure that pets are rabies vaccinated as well as protected against parvo and distemper. All 3 of those diseases are not good, especially rabies. If you contract rabies, it's 100% fatal.
Your puppy can get the parvo distemper vaccine at 6 to 8 weeks and the rabies vaccine at around 12 weeks of age. According to the CDC, for children ages 1 to 14, drowning is the second leading cause of unintentional injury death after motor vehicle crashes. But here in Southwest Missouri, volunteers are coming together to prevent tragedies on the water. KOAM's Kate Kelly gives us a look at the Show Me Water Safety Day at Wildcat Glades in Joplin.
Debbie Lorimer loves spending time with her grandkids outdoors, but activities on the water can be hazardous. That's why an event like this is something she was happy to sign her littles up for.
Having a professional tell them the rules and the safety measures and the hearing exactly from the experts is so wonderful.
Those experts are volunteers coming from a wide range of community partners and organizations. This is the first event in a series aimed at providing helpful water tips for families heading into the summer months.
We're targeting 5 to 12-year-olds, so can have a general understanding of the safety that we're looking for and understand that life jackets are important and water safety is important, and just start that learning young.
And that learning is proving to be pretty fun.
They're just having a great time time. They got to do some CPR with the mannequins. They got to paddle some boats. They got fitted for life jackets, which is tremendous.
The Joplin YMCA says private donors sponsored free Coast Guard approved life jackets for this event and the ones to follow. When it comes to drowning prevention, life jackets can go a long way if they fit.
If it fits incorrectly, it could slide off or be too tight when they're in the water. So fitting correctly should be snug but not too tight, with all zippers zipped and straps snapped in place correctly.
After going through each station, Debbie says she's feeling better about doing more things on the water with her family, all thanks to these dedicated volunteers.
Sometimes we don't do things because we're worried about the safety, and this will help us get out there more, I think.
In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
Now, if you're interested in attending one of the other free water safety events coming up in June and July, you can check out this story on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The Creative Learning Alliance in downtown Joplin is giving young children their first experience in STEM. Today, they taught children how to make paper airplanes. The kiddos were not only able to get creative, but also learn more about the properties of aerodynamic forces and flight velocity, and help them gain an interest in the sciences, which is something that the Creative Learning Alliance strives for.
Kids learn by doing, first of all, so it's important that we let them and give them a place to do. And then secondly, it's important because we want kids to be excited by science. We don't want it to be a drag with just a textbook at school. We want to make it very real and very applicable to just all of the time in their life.
Next month, the Creative Learning Alliance will focus on projects dealing with the ocean. 4 state residents being transported back into the 1860s and immersing themselves in the local area's history. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky tells us how a reenactment of the Battle of Carthage does just that.
People in Carthage were able to take part in a real-life history lesson.
History, we don't want to forget what happened. I mean, there's lessons to be learned, so we don't repeat our past mistakes.
So on Saturday, Civil War reenactors took part in a reenactment of the Battle of Carthage, which originally took place in 1861.
It's that initial battle when they ran into each other. They just happened to run into each other here. The Union was looking for them, and they ran into here.
It was a chance for people to have an up-close and personal visual of the historic local battle.
There's a lot of people, they don't understand the Civil War. Missouri is very unique. Most people don't know that Missouri had the 3rd most battles of every state in the Union during the Civil War. And the battles here in Missouri were for different reasons versus the back east.
The reenactment took months to plan, but members of the Missouri Civil War reenactors say it was well worth it.
We get to meet people from all around the country in different places, and it's an interesting hobby if people like history and they like camping and shooting guns. It's a great hobby. Everybody loves history that's involved in this, and on top of that, they love our country.
It's not all war reenactments either. Those taking part say they really tried to understand what it was like living during the Civil War.
They can see how everything was a little harder to do back then. Everything was heavier. We didn't have any of the modern things that we have today.
Anyone attending was able to walk around the camp, fully immersing themselves in the experience. In Carthage, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The Battle of Carthage reenactment will continue on Sunday from 10 to 3. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. John Moore served in the U.S. Army from 1990 to 1992, his hometown, Pittsburgh. We're proud to recognize Specialist John Moore, tonight's 4-state hero. And of course, learn more about our other heroes or nominate one of your own. You can do that anytime. KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up, the Lincoln Memorial was closed for cleaning today. We'll tell you why.
Going on now at
Check this out. It's a time lapse of our tower camera of towers, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction. This is as work continues on the KOAM More Power project. If you are interested in learning more, and you should be, because it's very important, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/power. Well, the Lincoln Memorial was closed on Saturday so it could be cleaned up after college students reportedly trashed it while celebrating their graduation. National Park Service did not name the school, but the students are believed to have attended Georgetown University, where graduation ceremonies are being held this weekend. National Park Service Twitter account said the celebration left litter, broken bottles, and spilled wine and champagne covering the steps. Georgetown also held a senior ball on Friday evening at the Washington Hilton, which is not far from the Lincoln Memorial. Atlanta police are investigating an early morning shooting near a gay nightclub. According to police, at least one person is dead after a shooting took place near the Marquette Restaurant and Lounge. And this isn't the first time a shooting has happened near Marquette Lounge. Last year on Labor Day, 5 people were shot after a fight broke out on Oliver Street. Earlier this month, the city leader introduced a bill aimed at cracking down on crime happening at nightclubs, though the measure still needs the state's approval. A drive-by shooting in Central Florida left 1 man dead and 3 others injured. The Osceola County Sheriff's Office says the shooting happened around Friday afternoon at the Key West Market in Kissimmee. According to investigators, 27-year-old Jaquan Dockery was killed. Deputies are now looking at new security video for more information about what led up to the deadly shooting. Key legal advisor to former President Donald Trump appears before a congressional committee. Rudy Giuliani, a former member of Donald Trump's personal legal team, met with the January 6th committee on Friday. Giuliani's appearance with the committee lasted 9 hours after previously refusing to appear unless his testimony was videotaped. The committee is trying to establish Trump's actions at the time his supporters stormed the Capitol during election certifications. Giuliani's testimony content isn't yet known. Elon Musk is denying allegations he sexually harassed a SpaceX flight attendant in a series of late-night tweets 6 years ago. The flight attendant is also accusing the world's richest man of exposing himself to her and rubbing her leg without consent. She says he offered to buy her a horse in exchange for an erotic massage. Musk is calling the accuser a liar and challenging her to describe just one thing on his body, such as a scar or a tattoo, that isn't known by the public. 4 years ago, Business Insider reported SpaceX had paid a settlement of $250,000 after a SpaceX flight attendant alleged sexual misconduct against the billionaire. Musk says the report is a hit piece designed to interfere with his acquisition of Twitter. Boeing completes a critical repeat mission in link-ups to the International Space Station. Company's Starliner space capsule with a dummy astronaut on board finally made it to the International Space Station Friday. Starliner completed a docking mode maneuver despite some thruster failures. NASA wants more competition to the space station, with Elon Musk's SpaceX having already sent 18 astronauts and tourists to the station. The trend of unionization continues to seep through the cracks at retailers across the country. Apple retail workers at the company's Towson Center store in Maryland will now hold a union election June 15th. The group was given approval after petitioning the National Labor Relations Board earlier this month and getting enough signatures for a vote. Workers group called Apple Corps wants more control over pay, hours, and coronavirus safety measures at the store. This is the second Apple store to vote to organize this year. Wrapping up a little later in the show, the holy grail of comics has gone up for sale at auction. For just how much, you ask? Stay around and find out.
But on the heels of our last bit of rain chances, we got high pressure building in tomorrow, but how long is it going to keep us dry? Forecast next.
Make sure your camper RV.
After quite a bit of rain from last night through a good portion of the day, it's nice that now, with the live shot of indigo sky outside of Seneca, Missouri, we're looking at a calmer night, leading to a drier, calmer, and brighter end of the weekend tomorrow. But as Doug advertised the other night, after we got past 7 or 8 o'clock, there was the parade of storms that pushed strong to a couple of severe thunderstorms as well, especially for areas south of 44. But we didn't have to deal with all day long. We just had to deal with some additional scattered showers, maybe a couple of storms late this morning, early this afternoon. But when you take all of those rain chances into account, area-wide, the average rain that we picked up, just over an inch, some less, some a little bit more than that. But the rain led to a big difference in temperatures. We had mid-80s for highs the other day, mid-60s for midnight highs today. And then look at all the 50s that we saw from about 3 a.m. all the way to right now as we take you outside the 7th and range line at 1019. We're still at 57, still some stubborn cloud cover trying to hold on. But with that north breeze kicking in behind our passing storm system, we're finally starting to get rid of a good portion of the cloud covers to go through the overnight. Here's the cold front in question. Out ahead of it, plenty of severe weather from the deep south, even working up into upper New England. But at the surface, high pressure spilling in behind it. That's what's going to lead to another chilly compared to May standards day tomorrow, and a dry day as well. But this upper level low that we're watching now coming out of the Pacific Northwest, that's going to be the next big weather maker in the cards as we go into next week. But the short term looks really promising. No rain to worry about for tonight. Mostly cloudy skies turning partly cloudy during the overnight. That will allow lows eventually to drop back to about 46 across much of the region. Northeast breeze during the day tomorrow, but partly to mostly sunny skies kicking back in. That'll take us to 61 at noon. Joplin topping out at 65 degrees for tomorrow, but everybody should go into the mid 60s for afternoon highs, maybe a couple upper 60s before the day is all said and done. So once we get past a nice way to wrap up the weekend tomorrow, that upper low I showed you out in the Pacific Northwest, here it comes as we go into Monday. Maybe a few showers Monday morning that we'll have to keep an eye on, but plenty of increasing cloud cover and eventually better rain chances as we go into Monday afternoon, into Monday evening, and then more rain chances and thunderstorm chances building in as we head into Tuesday. And we'll have to see how the system plays out. We can't rule out maybe some strong storms to contend with as we go into Tuesday, especially Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. Before the system leaves, we'll have some morning storms likely on Wednesday. Then we're dry Thursday. We're dry Friday to get the holiday weekend started. But here comes another wave that'll come at us by Saturday, late in the day and Saturday night going into next weekend. That could be another setup for storms and maybe another severe setup as well. But temperature-wise, let's go 65 tomorrow, 64 Monday, 70 on Tuesday. But once we hit the holiday weekend, Chris, we're looking at predominantly a warm holiday weekend. Back into the 80s, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll watch that storm system for Saturday and Sunday. That could be strong to severe. But so far, the holiday proper looking okay. 74 with partly sunny skies. Looking good for Memorial Day so far.
That looks like a pretty good forecast, Nick. Thank you. Turning to sports, after some weather delays down in the Deep South, Crowder finally took the field tonight.
A few hours late, but the Rough Riders hit the field for the South Central District Championship game. We've got the latest. Plus, Carl Junction hosts Branson with the district title on the line. Those highlights next. Carl Junction girls soccer has made it to their third straight district championship game. The Bulldogs hit the field today at home against Branson. CJ beat Branson 3-1 last week. Today, there's a spot in the state tournament on the line. Bulldogs getting behind Branson early. Look at the speed from Lauren Burgess. Just hits it wide, and she wanted that one. Scoreless at half, Carl Junction comes out and dominates the second. Cadence Arnold takes her space, rips a shot, keeper falls on it. Still tied at 0. Then 3 minutes to go. It's looking like overtime. Hannah Franks plays a perfect through ball. Burgess finds the far corner. It's the game-winning goal for the senior. What a moment. Carl Junction tops Branson 1-0 to win the district championship.
We've really come on strong the last couple of weeks. We've outworked the other teams. We had provided a lot of energy, and I thought that it carried over today. The girls played with a lot of energy. They played with confidence. And with that win the second half, we just kept it in and kept on knocking on our door, and finally persistence paid off and we scored, so we're happy with that.
The Bulldogs posted 3 straight shutouts in the district tournament. They now advance to the Class 3 state tournament. Carl Junction will have the entire week to prepare before facing Glendale in the quarterfinal round next Saturday. It's a big day for Crowder baseball. The Rough Riders are 1 win away from another trip to Grand Junction. Crowder faces Delgado in the championship game of the South Central District Tournament. A win makes the Rough Riders district champs. A loss forces a second game on Sunday. And Delgado stays alive, winning 9-7. Winner takes all tomorrow at 1 p.m. In the MLB tonight, St. Louis is at Pittsburgh for Game 2 of a 3-game set. The Cardinals won Game 1 and they take Game 2 tonight, 5-4. Paul Goldschmidt tallies 4 hits, including 2 doubles, and drives in 2. Kansas City is at home, aiming to even up the series with Minnesota. Royals can't generate much. They fall 9-2 to the Twins. It's the 3rd straight loss for Kansas City, so they'll try to bounce back tomorrow in the series finale. That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
What's considered by many collectors to be the holy grail of comic books is on the auction block. A rare 1939 Detective Comics issue that introduces Batman for the first time could approach $1.5 million. That would match a record set in 2020 for the issue, of which only 40 are known to be in existence. Batman makes his first ever appearance in print in a story called The Case of the Chemical Syndicate. The Dark Knight, who ushered in a whole new era of superheroes, can also be seen swinging on the comic book's cover. The auction by Golden of the Comic, which originally sold for a dime, officially wraps up, or rather it officially wrapped up about 2 hours ago. So unfortunately, Danny, Nick, I know the two of you were in a pretty hot bidding contest on that, but I'm going to take it you didn't win. But that's all right. They said there's only 40 and they've only sold 2, so you'll have another chance. So.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
We've got another chance to dry out, at least briefly.
Yeah, we'll dry out tonight and we'll stay dry for tomorrow to wrap up the weekend. And with some more sun, we're going to push highs back into the mid-60s. But we got additional rain chances Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you missed those details, I will have that spelled out for you with the updated blog, which they'll find pretty soon at KOANewsNow.com, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. And a final check in sports.
Well, Crowder couldn't get it done tonight, but they'll have one final shot at the district championship in a winner-takes-all game against Delgado tomorrow.
It's that weather delay. It throws you off, you know. But they'll be on their game tomorrow. They'll be
Yes.
set. They're going to go and they're going to nail it. I see it. Guys, thank you so much. That is our time for now. We will see you back here tomorrow night at 9 and 10. And thanks so much for making us part of your night.